Have you ever wondered why India, a country with a rich cultural tapestry, is also a powerhouse of economic growth? As we peel back the layers of this economic jigsaw, we find a picture that's both diverse and dynamic. According to projections, India's economic growth is set to hit 6.5% in both fiscal years 24 and 25. This robust growth is fueled by several key factors: strong urban consumption, upbeat rural demand, and continued government spending. These elements, working in harmony, are propelling India's economy forward, resilient in the face of global challenges. This resilience is reflected in moderate inflation, sustained capital expenditure, and continued buoyancy in revenue collections. Meanwhile, India's appeal as an attractive investment destination is underscored by the record amounts of funds raised by India-focused funds in 2022 to 23. In the upcoming scenes, we will delve deeper into these contributing factors. Buckle up as we embark on this economic exploration. The heart of India's economic growth beats in its bustling cities. But how does urban consumption contribute to this growth? Well, let's dive in and find out. You see, in India's vibrant metropolises, a significant transformation is taking place. As more and more individuals move into cities, consumer spending is on the rise. This isn't just about buying more groceries or the latest smartphone. It's about the entire spectrum of goods and services, from healthcare to education, from entertainment to housing. Now, consider the rise of e-commerce. It's not just a tech trend. It's a revolution in how goods and services are bought and sold. In India's cities, e-commerce is growing at an exponential rate, offering consumers a plethora of choices at their fingertips and delivering a boost to the urban economy. But it's not just about buying and selling goods. The service sector, which includes everything from restaurants and hotels to IT and financial services, is also seeing significant growth. This sector is a major contributor to urban consumption, providing numerous jobs and creating wealth in the cities. It's important to note that this urban consumption isn't just driving growth in the cities. It's having a ripple effect, fueling demand for products and services from rural areas and other parts of the country. So in a way, the urban consumption is acting as a catalyst, sparking growth across the entire Indian economy. In the end, it's clear that urban consumption is more than just a part of India's economic story. It's a key protagonist, shaping the narrative of India's growth and prosperity. And as the cities continue to grow and evolve, their role in driving economic growth is only set to increase. Clearly, the urban landscape plays a pivotal role in driving India's economic engine. Away from the city lights, the rural landscape of India tells its own economic tale. But what role does rural demand play in India's economic story? Rural India, home to over half of the nation's population, is a significant driver of its economy. It's a vibrant tableau of agriculture and small-scale industries, painting a picture of self-sufficiency and relentless hard work. Yet the role it plays in India's economic growth is often underestimated. To begin with, agriculture, the backbone of rural India, contributes significantly to the country's GDP. It's not just about the fields and the crops. It's about the entire ecosystem it supports. From farming equipment to irrigation systems, from seeds to fertilizers. The demand generated by agriculture has a ripple effect on various sectors. The story doesn't end with agriculture. Over the years, there's been a significant increase in rural income, thanks to the diversification of the rural economy and remittances from urban areas. This increased income has led to a rise in consumption, fueling demand for a variety of goods and services, from automobiles to appliances, from education to healthcare. Government initiatives have also played a pivotal role in stimulating rural demand. Schemes aimed at rural development, financial inclusion, infrastructure creation, and social welfare have not only improved the quality of life in rural areas, but also boosted their purchasing power. Let's not forget the influence of digital technology. The internet has ushered in a new era of connectivity and access to information, transforming the way rural India consumes products and services. Today, rural consumers are more aware, more aspirational, and more willing to spend on quality goods. So, when we talk about India's economic growth, we cannot overlook the significant contribution of rural demand. It's like an undercurrent, invisible on the surface, but powerfully driving the economy forward. Rural demand, thus, plays a crucial, yet often overlooked role in India's economic growth. The government, with its policies and spending, guides the economic ship. But how does government spending influence India's economic growth? Well, let's break it down. One major way government spending contributes to economic growth is through infrastructure development. Think of roads, bridges, airports, and power plants. These are the arteries of an economy, facilitating the smooth flow of goods, services, and people. In India, the government has been investing heavily in infrastructure projects, effectively setting the stage for increased productivity and economic expansion. Then there's social sector spending. This is where the government invests in the well-being of its citizens through initiatives in education, healthcare, and social security. These investments pay off in the long run. For instance, a well-educated workforce is more productive, and a healthy population reduces the strain on healthcare resources. By investing in the social sector, the government is essentially investing in the human capital of the nation, which is a key driver of economic growth. Lastly, we can't overlook the role of fiscal policies. The government's decisions on taxation and public spending can stimulate economic activity. For example, a tax cut can put more money in the hands of consumers, who then spend more, boosting demand and driving economic growth. Conversely, increased public spending can create jobs, raise incomes, and spur economic activity. So, as we can see, government spending is not just about numbers on a balance sheet. It's a strategic tool that can stimulate economic growth, improve the quality of life, and shape the future of the nation. Government spending, therefore, serves as a guiding hand, shaping India's economic trajectory. In a world fraught with economic challenges, India stands resilient. But what makes India's economy so robust? Let's delve into the factors that contribute to this economic resilience. Firstly, India's economy is driven by solid domestic demand. Unlike economies heavily reliant on exports, India's growth is majorly fueled by its own consumers, providing a certain degree of insulation from global economic fluctuations. The nation's burgeoning middle class, with its increased purchasing power, has been a key driver of this domestic demand. Secondly, India has been able to maintain moderate inflation, which is crucial for economic stability. Despite the global increase in commodity prices and the war in Ukraine creating inflationary pressures, India has managed to keep inflation within manageable limits. This balancing act has been possible due to a combination of prudent monetary policy and effective supply chain management. Thirdly, the resilience of India's economy is also reflected in its sustained capital expenditure. The government has continued to invest in infrastructure development and other capital-intensive areas, driving job creation and promoting economic growth. These investments have not only boosted the productive capacity of the economy, but also enhanced its ability to withstand external shocks. Lastly, the continued buoyancy in revenue collections has played a significant role in bolstering India's economic resilience. Despite the challenges posed by the pandemic, India's tax collections have remained robust, providing the government with the resources needed to support the economy and respond to crises. In essence, it's a blend of strong domestic demand, moderate inflation, sustained capital expenditure, and robust revenue collections that form the backbone of India's economic resilience. These factors have also helped India navigate through the global uncertainties and maintain a steady growth trajectory. India's economic resilience, therefore, is a testament to its robust economic fundamentals. Investors around the world are eyeing India. But what makes India an attractive investment destination? Well, it's a combination of several factors. India's economic growth, projected to be 6.5% in both the fiscal years 2024 and 2025, is a strong testament to its potential. This robust economic growth is driven by strong urban consumption, upbeat rural demand, and sustained government spending. Moreover, India's economy is resilient in the face of global challenges with solid domestic demand, moderate inflation, and continued buoyancy in revenue collections. But there's more. The record amounts of funds raised by India-focused funds in 2022 and 2023 are a clear indication of the country's attractiveness to investors. These funds recognize the huge potential that India holds, not just in terms of its large and diverse market, but also its progressive policies, stable political environment, and a thriving startup ecosystem. With its robust economic fundamentals and attractive investment opportunities, India indeed stands as a beacon of economic growth.